Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching this video from. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my space. Welcome to my page. So this is Patente B in English with Tonya, and today we'll be talking about chapter 8. Okay, so stay tuned, watch the video, listen to, study it, and use it to do the quiz. Don't forget you can leave your questions, anything at all in the comment section, or better still, write me and I will send you my number for more details about Patente B in English with Tonya. Thank you. Dice il segnale raffigurato indica ingresso di un ospedale. Okay, he said this sign figure, it dey indicate the entry, okay, of hospital. Okay, the side wey you go pass enter hospital. Ospedale na hospital. Okay, this sign figure na be segnale raffigurato. It dey indicate what? The entrance to what? To hospital. Alright, so let's go to number 2. Okay, vicinanza na close. This sign dey tell you say you dey close to what? To hospital. Okay, and e dey tell you say make you no do it, no fare rumori molesti, make you no make noise, make you no make too much noise. Okay, or within this environment, within the environment wey you for see this sign, dem dey tell you say make you no do what? Make you no make noise. Why dem dey tell you make you no make noise? Na you wey be driver for instance now, make you no accelerate. Okay, if you dey close to this sign, no be that time you come take know say you wan put your vehicle for jar 5 or you wan put am for jar 3, you wan accelerate vroom 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 vroom. All those noise e no too good. Alright, so e dey tell you say make you no do what? Make you no make noise in the vicinity of what? Where you for see this sign. Let's go to number 3. Okay, e dey indicate the direction. Direzione means direction. Okay, direzione means direction. Alright, e dey indicate the direction to enter what? Hospital. Okay, e dey indicate the directions to what? Enter hospital. Entrare means enter. Entrare means what? Enter. Alright, so e dey indicate the direction for you to do what? To enter what? Hospital. Ospedale means hospital. Alright, na this sign dey what? Dey tell you. So make we go number 4. Ok, e say il segnale raffigurato è posto in corrispondenza di un ospedale. Okay, e say this sign figure, e say that they post am, that they put am for the exact spot, okay, of hospital, or the exact spot wey you wan take enter. Make I say the junction. Okay, the junction wey lead to what? Hospital. Alright, you go see am for the corrispondenza or for the correspondence, which is the exact spot. Alright, this correspondenza means exact spot. Correspondence, but the simplest English for you to understand it is what? Exact spot. Okay, you go see am for the place gangan. Alright, they go post am for the place wey be say you go take do what? Enter hospital. Now as we dey do am, if you don teach am reach very well, we do the quiz. So we dey talk about this what? Direzione autostrada. Okay, direzione autostrada. Now this one you go see am for wetin? For highway, which is for autostrada. Now you go for see this signboard. Okay, for autostrada, now you go for see this signboard. And wetin e dey tell you? E dey tell you say if you continue straight, if you dey drive dirito, e go take you to what? Bologna. Alright, e go take you to what? Bologna. While if you go by your left, e go take you to what? Airport, which is the Linate Airport. Okay, so let's go. Okay, e say this sign figure, okay, this sign figure, e dey indicate say for you to do what? Riaggiungere. This sign figure, e dey indicate say for you to do what? For you to reach, riaggiungere na reach. Okay, for you to reach Bologna, you need to do what? Continue straight. Proseguire means continue. Okay, proseguire diritto, continue straight. Okay, for you to reach Bologna, you need to do what? Continue going straight. And if you see the diagram, Bologna na diritto. You need to do what? Continue with the lane when you dey go straight for you to do what? Get to what? Bologna. Alright, let's go. Okay, determinate. Determine. Okay, determined. Alright, now destinazione, destinations. okay, destinations. Now e say dis sign figure e dey pre-warn you or e dey tell you about two determined destination. Make I get another English. Okay, dis sign shown alert you to two specific destinations. Okay, two specific what? Destination, which means you fit still use determinate, you fit still use specific as the meaning. Alright, you fit still write specific as the meaning of determinate. You can use the word specific as well. Okay, e say dis sign shown alert you to two specific what? Destination. Then na you go come choose which one you dey go. If you dey go airport, you go go dis what? Linate. If you dey go Bologna, you go go straight. Alright, let's go to number 3.
Il segnale raffigurato preavvisa uno svincolo con svolta a sinistra per l'aeroporto di Linate.
Okay, e say segnale raffigurato preavvisa. Okay, e dey pre-warn you or e dey pre-tell you, okay, una svincolo. Svincolo. Alright, so e say segnale raffigurato preavvisa, e dey pre-warn you about a what? Exact junction, okay, with volta a sinistra, with the turning by your left, okay, per airporto di Linate, for you to get to what? Linate airport. Okay, e dey tell you say you go see dis sign, okay, for the exact junction where you need to do what? Where you need to turn to your left for you to get to what? Linate airport. Alright, e dey pre-warn you of a what? Of a junction or of an exit, okay, with a turn by the left, okay, for you to do what? Get to the what? Airporto di Linate. E say dis sign show warns of a junction with a left turn for Linate airport. For you to get to Linate, alright, you have to do what? Turn to your left. Okay, you have to do what? Turn to your left. Svincolo, exact junction. Alright, exact junction. Svolta, turn. Okay, svolta, turn. Alright, airporto, airport. Linate na name of city, name of the airport. Okay, e dey announce wetin? Autostrada what? Or highway junction. Okay, e dey announce what? Highway junction. Okay, e dey tell you about highway junction. E say dis sign shown warns of a motorway division. Okay, warns of a motorway what? Division. The junction, okay, the exit junction. Okay, e dey announce you of a what? A highway exit what? Junction. Alright, if you see am say na two ways, diritto and what? And sinistra. Okay, e dey pre-warn you of a what? Of a highway exit junction. Let's go.
Il segnale raffigurato preavvisa uno svincolo in cui si deve proseguire diritto per andare a Bologna.
Okay, e dey pre-warn you of a what? Of a exit junction in cui means in which you must do what? You must proseguire diritto. E say e dey pre-warn you of a what? Of an exit junction in which you must what? Continue straight for you to go what? Bologna. Andare means go. Okay, e dey pre-warn you of a what? Exit junction in cui means in which you must what? Continue straight for you to do what? For you to go to what? Bologna. If you are going to Bologna, you need to do what? Continue what? Straight. Alright, you must continue what? Straight. Alright, so that's it for this. The next one, which is the what? Preavviso di let's see. Where the diramazione? They did not spell it finish. Okay, let's see. This white background too na strada urbana, na dey for dey see am. Strada urbana na centro abitati within your city. Okay, na this white background go dey. Na inside your city you go for see this white background. Now, e dey tell you now say if you continue straight, you dey go what? Milano. Then if you bend to your what? To your right, which is the destra, you dey go what? You dey go what? Centro della città. Okay, or centro, which is the city center. Alright, so make we see wetin quiz talk for here.
Il segnale raffigurato indica che per raggiungere Milano bisogna proseguire diritto.
Okay, e say dis sign figure dey indicate say for you to do what? For you to reach Milano, you need to do what? Continue straight. Okay, for you to reach Milano, you need to do what? Continue straight. And if you look the arrow, Milano na straight. Alright, So for you to get to this Milano now, you need to what? Continue going straight. So raggiungere means reach. Proseguire diritto means continue straight. Okay? E dey indicate say for you to reach Milano, bisogna, you need to do what? Continue straight. Alright.
Il segnale raffigurato indica due determinate destinazioni.
Okay, say this sign figure, e dey indicate two specific what? Destination. Now, no forget say I tell you make you write specific as the meaning of this word determinate. Okay, write specific as the meaning of this word determinate. So e say this sign figure, e dey indicate two specific what? Destination. Two specific what? Destination. And if you look the signboard, one dey go diritto for Milan and the other one dey go a destra for what? For centro. So mo go number 3.
Il segnale raffigurato preavvisa un incrocio con svolta a destra per il centro cittadino.
E say this sign dey pre-warn you of a what? Of a junction. Okay? Of a junction. Incrocio na junction. E dey pre-warn you of a what? Of a junction with the turning by your left for you to do what? Get to the city center. Centro cittadino means city center. Alright? Centro cittadino means the city center. E dey pre-warn you of a junction, incrocio na junction with turning by your right for you to do what? Get to a junction. E dey tell you say you go reach junction, and for you to do what? Get to Centro della Città, which is the city center, you need to do what? Turn to your right. Okay? A destra na your right. You need to turn to what? To your right before you get to what? The city center. Alright? You get to a junction where you have to turn to your right for you to get to the what? The city center. So that's what this one said. Incrocio, junction.
Il segnale raffigurato si può trovare su strade urbane.
Okay, you can find it in what? Strada urbane. Strada urbane is what? Centro abitati. Is our city center. Okay, sorry, they are bringing streets. Let's touch urbane. You see, and if you look at this picture very well, you see there is farmacia. If you look at this picture very well, you see there is library, there is office center, there is supermarket, there is pharmacy, there is cafe shop. You see buildings and all that. This is Strada Urbana, and this is the urban road, which is our what? Our city. Okay, which is our what? City. He said you can find it. Si puoi trovare means you can find it on the what? Strada Urbana, on the Urbana what? Road. Alright, you can find it on the Urbana road.
Il segnale raffigurato preavvisa un incrocio in cui si deve proseguire diritto per andare a Milano.
Okay, he said this sign figure, e dey pre-warn you of a what? Of a junction. Incrocio is junction. Incrocio, junction. In which si deve proseguire, in which you must continue straight. Okay, you must continue straight for you to do what? For you to go to what? Milano. Okay, e dey pre-warn you of a junction in which you must continue straight for you to do what? Get to Milano. Andare na go. Proseguire na continue. Okay, incrocio na junction. Alright, in cui na in which. Okay, in which si deve na must. Deve na must. Okay, e dey tell you of a junction in which you must continue going straight for you to get to what? Milano. So that is it for this one. Any question? Alright, so mo do this number 24. Alright, number 24. This number 24 dey a little bit complicated. So mo listen very well for us to get the answer.
Il segnale raffigurato si trova sulle strade extraurbane principali.
This sign, you go find am for what? Strada extraurbana principali. Okay? You go find am for Strada extraurbana principali. Alright? Because na blue background. Okay? Na blue background. They come attach panello integrativo, which is extra panels. Like the one wey dey up, uscita Frosinone, say you go go out from Frosinone. While the down one wey dey attach come be what? Come be the distance, 500 meters. Okay? The two white signboard wey dey, like the up and the down, na panello. Okay? Na panello dey attach to it. Alright? This one na panello, this one na panello. Alright? Panello. Now, I dey touch the video, the screen. In case you wan go watch the video later for YouTube, you go get better explanation on am because I dey use my pen dey touch am. Alright? These two white background so wey dey the up, this Uscita Frosinone and this 500 meters na panel wey dey attach to this what, this blue signboard. Alright, and this signboard they say you go throw over am, which means throw over na find. They say you go find am for wetin, for Strada Extraurbana Principale, for semi-highway, okay, or the extra suburban road. Alright, say you go find am for there. Okay, so mo go number 2.
Il segnale raffigurato indica che lo svincolo di uscita per Frosinone è a 500 metri.
Okay, e say this sign dey indicate say the exit junction of Frosinone, dey indicate say the exit junction of Frosinone na wetin, na 500 meter. Okay, the exit junction for you to go out of Frosinone, the exit junction for you to go out of Frosinone is in what, is in 500 meters. Okay, is in 500 meters for you to go out from the exit junction. Svicoli di Uscita, the exit junction. Okay, the exit junction to go out from Frosinone is what, is 500 meters. Okay, is 500 meter. So let's go.
Il segnale raffigurato riporta i nomi delle località raggiungibili uscendo dalla strada extraurbana principale.
Okay, e say this sign figure, il segnale raffigurata, this sign figure, e dey report the names, nomi na names, okay, of the what, of the location, okay, reachable using what, Strada Extraurbana Principale. Okay, now e say this sign figure, e dey report the names of location that is reachable, the location wey you fit reach if you dey do what, if you dey use Strada Extraurbana Principale, or if you dey go out. Okay, this one na uscendo. If you dey go out from what, Strada Extraurbana Principale, uscendo, going out. Okay, going out. Alright, okay, raggiungibile, reachable. Okay, reachable. So e dey report the names of location that is reachable when going out of what, Strada Extraurbana Principale. And number 1 of the place that is reachable when you go out from Strada Extraurbana Principale is what, Funghi, which is Campo Cantino. Okay, Ferentino. All these cities wey dey inside this blue signboard, so na be the cities wey be say you fit reach when you go out from what, Frosinone, which is Strada Extraurbana what, Principale. Okay, so let's go.
Il segnale raffigurato indica, con la scritta su fondo marrone, le località turistiche.
Okay, e say this sign figure, e say e dey indicate, e say indica, e say with the one wey dey write with brown background, con la scritta su fondo marrone, the one wey dey write with brown background, a tourist what, location. Okay, which means this sign dey tell you now say the one wey dey write with brown background, like this Cecco, this Campo Cantino, they are what, they are tourist location. These ones wey dey on brown background, they are what, they are tourist location. Fondo marrone means brown background. Brown background. Okay, scritta, written. Okay, that is written in brown background, is a tourist what, location. Okay, is a tourist location. Alright, na tourist location, the ones wey dey write with what, brown background.
Il segnale raffigurato indica la distanza che c'è tra il segnale e il prossimo svincolo d'uscita.
Okay, e say this sign figure, e dey indicate the distance, okay, between the segnale and the next exit junction. Okay, e say this sign figure, e dey indicate the distance, okay, between the segnale and the what, and the next exit junction. Now this sign now, e dey tell you now say okay, in 500 meters you are going out of what, Frosinone. Okay, in 500 meters you are going out of what, Frosinone. Alright, you are going out of what, Frosinone. So that is it, and e dey tell you the distance wey e remain, and the distance wey remain na wetin, na 500 what, meters. So you get any question for here, may we treat am. Alright, so this number 25 now, na city wey you wan for go out. If you see this signboard, e mean say you don come outside for what, for this Monte Compatri. Alright, say na fine, na there Monte Compatri for end, na another city na you come dey.
Il segnale raffigurato indica la fine del centro abitato.
Okay, Now Monte Comparto na name of city and na wetin na inside city center. Okay, e say e dey indicate la fine. La fine the word centro abitati. Centro abitati means city center. Okay, e dey indicate the end of what? Of city center. Alright, la fine the word centro abitato, which is the end of what? City center. We'll go number 2.
Il segnale raffigurato nella prima riga in alto del pannello blu indica il prossimo centro abitato.
Okay, il segnale raffigurato nella prima riga. This riga, it means line. It means line. Okay, nella prima riga in alto, for the first line by your up, for the up side. Okay, the pannello blu, for the blue background, which is there they talk about what? Cesario. Okay, cesario now they talk about. All right, e say e dey indicate il prossimo centro abitati. E dey indicate the next city center. E dey indicate the next city. Okay, all these names wey dey here, so Frosinone, Napoli, they are names of city. All right, now e dey tell you say the first line for the up with for the blue background, riga na line, alto na up, pannello na panel, blue na blue, prossimo next, centro abitato city center. So this sign now e dey indicate say for the first line wey dey for up, okay, in alto means wey dey up, for this what? For this blue panel, for this blue background, okay, for this blue signboard, e dey indicate the next city center. Okay, e dey indicate the next what? City center. Not forget say I say the meaning of riga na line. Riga na line. Okay, the first line wey dey up for this blue background, okay, e dey indicate the what? The next centro abitati. E dey indicate the next city what? Center. Alright, mo go number 3.
Il segnale raffigurato indica la fine del centro abitato e le località successive.
Okay, e say this sign figure, e dey indicate la fine di centro abitato. E dey indicate the end of city center. If you see am, they cross am with red. Okay, they cross am with red. The moment you comot for this place, the moment you see this signboard, you pass this signboard, e don show say you don already comot for that city. You don comot for the city. Okay, you don comot for the what? City. Now e say e dey indicate the end of what? Centro abitati. Okay, with the what? With the this successive with the following what? Location. Successive means following. Alright, now make I put am for English. E say this sign shown indicate the end of what? Inhabited center, which is city center, and the following location. Okay, and the other locations wey be say you go do what? You go get to. Alright, and the other locations wey be say you go do what? You go get to. E dey indicate the end of what? City center, and the what? And the following what? Locations wey you go fit get to.
Il segnale raffigurato nel pannello blu indica per ogni località la rispettiva distanza chilometrica.
Okay, now these numbers wey dey write for each of these locations, so na the distance, okay, in kilometer na e be, which means for you to get to, the moment you see this signboard, as you don turn am back, for you to get to Cesario, you go drive 7 kilometers. For you to get to Frosinone, you go drive 63 kilometers. And for you to get to Napoli na come far pass, you go drive what? 190 what? Kilometers. And e dey say il segnale raffigurato nel pannello blu, for this blue panel, for this blue background, e dey indicate per ogni località, for every location, okay, the respective distance in what? In kilometer. Okay, the respective what? Distance. The pannello blue, this blue background, okay, e dey indicate say for every location wey you dey go, any of the location wey you dey go, e dey indicate the what? The respective what? Distance in kilometers. If you dey go Cesario na 7 kilometers, Frosinone 63 kilometers, Napoli 190 kilometers. Na im dey do what? Na im dey indicate. Okay, na im dey do what? In dey indicate. Alright, so we'll get to number 5.
Il segnale raffigurato indica che per Napoli mancano 190 km.
Okay, for you to get to Napoli, e remain wetin? 190 kilometers. Mancano means remaining. If you write remaining, don't write missing. Okay, don't write missing. You can write remaining. Okay, for you to get to Napoli is remaining what 190 kilometers. All right, it's remaining 190 kilometers for you to get to Napoli. Okay, it's remaining 190 kilometers for you to get to what Napoli. Indica che per Napoli, it indicates say for Napoli is remaining 190 kilometers. Okay, 190 kilometers.
Il segnale raffigurato indica che per S Cesareo mancano 7 km.
Okay, they indicate say for SS Cesario, e dey remain what 7 kilometers. Okay, e dey remain what 7 kilometers. For you to do what get to SS Cesario, e remain 7 kilometers. Okay, e remain 7 kilometers. I repeat, e dey indicate the end of what city center. Okay, e dey indicate the end of city center, and you go see am, e say nella prima riga for the first line wey dey for up of this blue background, so e dey indicate the next what city center. Okay, e dey indicate the next what city center. So na now as we dey do am now, after we don do this one finish, we go do the quiz. Anything you no hear when I talk na fast. So this one, so which is this number 26 now, na wetin na area pedonale. Okay, area pedonale. Motor no dey enter inside pedestrian area. You see am somewhere like this, e dey dey for inside our city well well. Most of all these places you see say maybe dem dey do all these street markets, blah blah blah, motor no fit enter, na leg you fit take enter. Okay, na leg na you go fit take what enter. You see the signboard, e dey dey for both side. Alright, e dey dey for both side. Alright, so now the only people wey go fit enter na be these people wey dey put this panel. So if you zoom am, you go see am. Number one of the people wey go fit enter, disabile people wey dey on wheelchair. Vigili, okay, people wey dey offload or unload goods. Okay, these three people, they go fit do what? They go fit enter. Me and you wey dey drive motor, we no go fit do what? We no go fit enter. We need to go park our motor for somewhere. They will use leg take what? Waka that place. Now make I play the quiz.
Il segnale raffigurato indica l'inizio di un'area pedonale.
Okay, e dey indicate the starting of what? A pedestrian area. Okay, e needs you na the starting. Okay, the starting of what? A pedestrian what? Area. Un'area pedonale, a pedestrian area. Okay, a pedestrian area.
Il segnale raffigurato indica nel pannello aggiuntivo i veicoli che possono entrare.
Okay, e say in this panel, e say il segnale raffigurato, this sign figure indicato nel pannello aggiuntivo, this added panel. Okay, aggiuntivo na added. Okay, or additional panel, anyone. Additional or added, any of them is okay. Okay, additional or added, any of them is okay. Okay, e say e dey indicate say nel pannello aggiuntivo, this additional panel or this added panel, this one wey dey put for under, so this one wey I dey touch so, il veicolo che possono entrare. E dey indicate, dey tell you about what? Vehicles wey go fit do what? Enter. And if you see vehicles wey go fit enter, disabile people one go fit enter. People that are on wheelchair, dem go fit enter. Vigili like polizia or other military people, dem go fit do what? Enter. People wey dey offload or unload goods, dem go fit do what? Enter. So na those three people na go fit do what? Enter. Okay, na those three people na go fit do what? Enter. These are the people that can what? Enter.
Il segnale raffigurato consente la circolazione dei veicoli per il carico e lo scarico merci.
Okay, e say this side figure, e allow the circulation. Consent na allow. Okay, consent na allow. E allow the circulation of vehicles for what? For offloading and unloading what? Goods. Okay, per il carico. Carico na load. Okay, carico na load. Okay, carico na load. While scarico na what? Unload. Okay, for the loading and offloading of what? Goods. Merci na goods. Okay, merci na goods. Sorry, no, merci na goods. Merci na goods. Okay, vehicles wey be say dey offload or unload goods go fit do what? E allow, e consented. Okay, e consented means allow vehicles wey dey do what? Wey dey offload or unload goods go fit what? Transit.
Il segnale raffigurato consente la circolazione dei veicoli per persone diversamente abili.
Okay, disabled people. Okay, disabled people go fit do what? They go fit enter. e allow the circulation of vehicles for what? Persone disamente abile, disabled people, okay? People that are on wheelchair and all that, yeah, disabled people, they go fit do what? They go fit enter. Disabled people go fit do what? Go fit enter. Okay? Disabled people can enter. People wey dey offload and unload goods, they go fit do what? They go fit enter. Dis one na wetin? Zona a traffico what? Limitata, limited traffic area. Now, people wey go fit still enter, disabile people, vigili, people wey dey offload and unload goods, na go fit do what? Na go fit enter. Okay?
Il segnale raffigurato indica l'inizio di una zona a traffico limitato.
Zona a traffico limitata, limited traffic area. Okay? Limited what? Traffic area. Alright? See, and they put am for here. Limited traffic area. Alright? They go put am for the starting and the ending. Okay? Now, you say it indicates the inizio. It indicate the starting of a limited what? Traffic area. Okay? It indicate the starting of a limited traffic area. Zona a traffico limitata means limited traffic area or limited traffic zone. Okay? It indicate the starting of a limited traffic what? Zone.
Il segnale raffigurato indica l'inizio dell'area dove il traffico è consentito solo ad alcune categorie di veicoli.
Okay, e say e dey indicate the starting of what? Of a area or of an area. E dey indicate the starting. Inizio na starting, okay, of an area dove il traffico è consentito, where traffic, okay, is allowed only for what? Some category types of what? Vehicle. Alcune means some. Okay, remove that one, just write only some. Okay, some. Now, this traffic, you can write traffic, you can write movement. Okay, you can write traffic or movement. It dey indicate the starting of an area where movement is only allowed for some what? Category of what? Vehicle. Or where transition is only allowed for some category of what? Vehicle. Alright? This traffic, you can use traffic, you can use movement, you can use circulation, anyone. Okay, it's staying the same thing. Just put am there, it's staying the same thing. Okay, it dey indicate the starting of an area where movement is allowed only for some category types of what? Vehicles. Or where traffic is allowed only for some category types of what? Vehicles. Okay? E say dis sign show indicate the beginning of an area where traffic is allowed only to certain categories of what? Vehicle. Only some type of vehicle na go fit enter here, which is this zona traffico limitata.
Il segnale raffigurato riporta quali sono i veicoli che possono entrare.
Okay, report, I dey report quale, okay? E dey report about which, okay? Quale means which, okay? E dey report about which vehicles, okay? Which vehicles go fit do what? Possono entrare, that can what? That can enter. Entrare means enter, okay? That can what? Enter. E dey indicate or e dey report about the what? The vehicles wey fit be say go fit do what? E go fit enter that place. And one of the vehicle na vigili, disabile. People wey dey offload and unload goods, those people go fit do what? They go fit enter zona traffico what? Limitata and even area pedonale. So number 4.
Il segnale raffigurato riporta le categorie di veicoli ammessi a trarsi.
Okay, ammessi means allowed. Ammessi means what? Allowed. Ammessi means allowed. Okay, e say this sign figure, e dey report the category of vehicles that is allowed to transit. Okay, e dey report the category of what? Vehicles that is what? Allowed to do what? To transit. Na vehicle wey dey allowed to transit na e dey for this panel, for this additional panel wey dey put for under so. Okay, vigili, disabile, and people wey dey offload and unload goods. Okay, people wey dey offload and unload goods, na dem go fit do what? Allow the transit. Alright, thank you so much for watching. God bless you. See you some other time. Bye bye.